We're now at a fork in the road. Will we continue down the globalizing path towards a world where more and more of our time is spent on screens? Are we increasingly dependent on ever bigger corporations and institutions? Or will we shift direction towards stronger local and regional economies, towards a world of vital communities, subsidiarity, and healthy democracies? We have to remind ourselves that the global path not only leads to ecological breakdown, it's also unraveling the fabric of society, of villages, towns, and smaller cities. It's pulling people off the land and into mega cities where competition and consumerism thrive, where per capita use of energy, water, and other resources all shoot up, and where regional self-reliance is replaced by corporate dependence. The global path, based on a mechanistic view of the world, is leading us to a form of technocratic hyper-industrialism, a machine-like system in which people and nature are managed by large-scale technological systems linked to Silicon Valley, the military, and the financial casino. But as I said earlier, I'm convinced that our political and business leaders are not fully aware of what they've done. The blindness that comes from over-specialization and long distances is much more the enemy than any single group or individual. The frightening reality is that the global path has no human oversight. It is now dominated by algorithms that have their own internal logic. But they can't care about the real world. Algorithms can discover that polarization and divisiveness increase the profits on social media, but they cannot care about the damage done to the social fabric or democratic institutions. Similarly, blind robotic forces are directing the investments and financial flows that determine the direction of the entire economic system, and they are shaping our future. Algorithms can even tell hedge funds how to profit from social and environmental breakdown, even while making that breakdown more likely. Deregulated profiteering linked to high-speed digital communication, not between human beings, but between computers themselves. This has accelerated a techno-economic dynamic that's shaping finance, business, media, and government investment. This techno-economic expansion is blindly speeding up imports and exports, blindly concentrating power, blindly driving up the gap between rich and poor, and is colonizing all avenues of knowledge, leading schools and academia to turn away from the arts, the humanities, and other disciplines towards science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and business. This is where the jobs are being concentrated. This colonization of our knowledge is probably the most important way in which we are being herded into accepting the idea that we need to prioritize the continuation of the techno-economic system. There's also a push to accept the idea that humans are going to be physically merged with technology. Transhumanism is portrayed by its advocates as a way to expand human consciousness, to resolve race and gender issues by superseding biology, and even to eliminate death. But if these arguments aren't hollow enough, we should remember that the military is already researching how linking human beings with machines can make weaponry more deadly. Propaganda for this future is even embedded in arguments for a Green New Deal. As I said in a previous lecture with reference to the Earth Summit in Rio in 1992, when corporate funding flows into the environmental movement, you'll see corporate-friendly solutions flowing out. That's happening today in the co-optation of every word environmentalists use. Regenerative, renewable, sustainable, biodiversity, organic, and even local. The meanings of all these terms are being watered down to allow large-scale business to lay claim to them. I count on people to trust their intuition enough to say, at a minimum, let's press the pause button. Let's halt the algorithmic expansion of the techno-economic system until we really understand what it's doing to us.